Hi, this is Jackson Waldron, and you're listening to the SRJC Polar Bear Podcast.
All right, gentlemen. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. We are missing a member of 4 Dudes, 1 Cup today.
Well, okay, so it's supposed to be 4 dudes, 1 cup, but look, it's 3 dudes and 2 cups.
Oh.
So we just replaced 1 dude with another
It was
cup.
a trade. It was a trade. It worked out for both sides, you know.
Yeah.
In front of me.
Well, it's just empty. We'll just put it right there.
Alright, that's fine.
I shouldn't have put this in my mouth.
No eating during the podcast.
Really, I should know that. But okay, so let's just go into the fact that NHL season's officially started yesterday. Woo! Yay! Whatever. Nobody gave any enthusiasm in here. It's not like I care.
I was doing this with my hat.
Okay, there we go. So who watched? Anyone watch?
Well, what do you want? What do you want from me?
I want some enthusiasm here, boys. Let's get it loud in here. Come on.
It's a
NHL
library.
season has started.
This is a library.
Yay. Okay, yeah, but I don't follow society's rules, okay, guys? But so who watched the games last night? Anyone watch any games?
I saw part of the first period of the Sharks Kings.
Oh, why didn't you see the full game?
Because I was busy.
You were busy. What were you, like, work or whatever?
I had a movie to go see.
Oh, because that's so much more important than
It was
that.
a
Well,
film
it's a film festival, so it was.
I'm sorry I'm being
was
such a
important.
snarky asshole today.
It's okay. You're that every day, but it's,
Oh wow, okay. Hot takes from Bruce over here. But I get NHL TV because I want to watch all the Canucks games every year as well as see any game I can get.
it's nice that somebody wants to watch the Canucks game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they really need it at the moment.
Do they get any kickback from that, or is it just?
I mean,
just
no,
for
they're just happy I'm
for each other,
there.
you know?
They call me up every day. They're like, Lachlan, we're so happy that at
Emotional
least somebody is
Yeah.
following us. I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you.
Oh, it's funny. I just realized we got rid of Andrew this year from our fantasy league and replaced him with Lachlan. They're just,
Why did you get rid of him?
Well, because he was a Canucks fan.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. No, he couldn't play this year, but it's just funny that we replaced one Canucks fan with another.
Why couldn't he play this year? Like how?
Well, I mean,
I'm busy for the entire hockey season,
Yeah,
so
no.
I can't play.
I mean,
I
so
guess.
am I, but that hasn't stopped me yet.
Well, he has one thing that we don't have is a baby. So.
That kind of
Well, honestly, like if you have a baby, that's more of a reason to like play fantasy sports than real sports. I feel like.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah. But he can't do either. So.
Cool.
I think we're getting a little bit off topic here. So I get NHL TV, and I chose to watch Ottawa versus Toronto last night because I mean
First game of the season.
first game of the season. I tend to follow more of the Canadian teams anyway, just because I like the coverage a little out there a little bit more.
You like a little bit.
I mean,
more like boring hockey.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's more, but it's more so just because I find NBC's coverage a bit annoying at times and trying.
Sure.
When you have guys like Mike Milbury giving their opinions, it's not as fun. But so the last night was the debut game for Toronto Maple Leafs savior Auston Matthews, and
the chosen one.
the chosen one. Holy, did he have a game!
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. He scored not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 goals.
Yeah.
He scored all 4 Toronto goals in a 5-4 loss to the Senators, overtime loss to the
Yeah, I couldn't
Senators.
believe that they lost the game. I wasn't watching the game, but I was checking my phone periodically, and I was just like, "What? He just keeps scoring." And
Yeah.
then at the end, I was like, "Oh, I wonder what the final score, like how bad Toronto beat Ottawa."
I mean,
I
it
was
was-
like, "They lost."
I mean, I watched the whole game, and it really at the beginning, especially at the beginning of the game, it seemed like it was just setting up to be one of those nights where just everything is so storybook perfect.
Yeah.
In terms of the goal scorer, Auston Matthews got the first goal. Then I believe it was Bobby Ryan got the second goal for the Senators, got the tying goal for the Senators, and then Erik Karlsson scored for the Senators to take the lead. So it's kind of like it was setting up for one of those nights where just all the stars are just going to start putting the pucks in. And then here comes Auston Matthews. He's got 1 goal already. He dekes around the entire Senators team, including and strips Erik Karlsson of the puck, and walks in on goal alone, just puts it top shelf between Anderson and the post, and it was insane. And I just couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything like that.
The
to
kid
start
is
a
pure
game.
talent. We'll see if it's if this was just a fluke or what. But
It might just be beginner's luck.
Well,
you know?
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's
one game is one game. But
I mean, I don't think we're
That was an
going
amazing
into.
game.
I think their next game is on Saturday against the Bruins, which, fun fact, NBC added to their schedule
Yeah, I
now
just
because of
read
it, because of that insane game. First of all, I don't know how they're not showing that game already. Considering, I know it's between like the basement dwelling Maple Leafs and the always good for a chuckle Ottawa Senators, but
well, it's Wednesday night rivalry is their thing.
yeah, I mean, that's true. Battle of Ontario, it's
Yeah.
a very good rivalry.
Of course.
I mean, the rivalries they did
That's
start
what
the
they-
night
I mean,
off
yeah.
with were good too, but I mean, just more so in the fact of you've got this prospect who is American born. He's from Arizona. It's not just like Connor McDavid, who's a Canadian prodigy and everything. This is an American grown, like American developed kid.
Mhm.
And he's clearly going to be one of the greats. And I just don't know how even if it is a game between two Canadian teams, how are you not showing that game? How is that not one of your top priorities?
Well, they had
They had
Chicago.
and that's the other thing. I don't know why that was the first game,
Well,
the
that-
U.S.
that's
game.
That's more.
Yeah, but
first
why
of all-
that? But
First of all, two U.S. teams.
yeah, but
You know what I mean?
no, not that. It's not that. But why was it Pittsburgh the first game? Usually, the Stanley Cup champion is the first to go. Is the first to start out the year.
It's just
Really?
probably a scheduling thing.
Yeah, because last year Chicago had the opening night game. They
that
won.
might have
They
just
won
been
the cup.
coincidence, you know what I mean? Just
Oh,
because.
no.
Well, they played.
I mean,
Chicago
it's not
played the first
coincidence
game
when
this
NBC
year,
is.
so
It's not coincidence when NBC is pretty much showing half their season.
they just like Chicago.
They just
so 2 years in
really,
a row, whether or not they
really
won the
like
cup, they showed
Chicago.
it as the first game. So, but
But
that's
Chicago's a good team.
Chicago St. Louis is a huge rivalry. Right?
Yeah.
It's probably.
I just find it amazing
one of the
that
biggest in the
that the initial scheduling call wasn't to have the Penguins go on the first day.
Yeah, for sure,
'Cause
but-
usually they plan it out that way. They plan it out to have that first
Yeah,
day.
sometimes it
the
just
cup,
doesn't
the
work
banner
out.
raising night and
Yeah,
everything.
they'll get to it though. I mean, you know.
I mean, it's
fine.
I mean,
Well,
Penguins
here's
are
the
night,
thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing. They have the schedule before the who wins the cup.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think,
true.
but I think
Like-
they do make like minor change. I think they do tend to make a minor change depending on who wins the cup.
I wouldn't know.
Because I mean,
No idea.
I think pretty much every year since, as long as I can remember, the cup champion has played on the first night because
Hmm.
they maybe they weren't initially going to play, but then once they won the cup, they wanted them to be the opening act. So
Yeah.
that's usually how it goes. Like I remember they had the Kings playing at like ridiculously at I think it was like at 11 in the morning, on one I think on the 1 year just because they wanted them to go first and everything. But that's the sort of thing I just wonder about, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they started doing that for a little while, and then they were like, "Oh, this is stupid."
Might as well. Well, I think maybe one of the things what I could justify it. The fact is that opening night's already going to be a big success, most likely.
Yeah, don't.
Might as well just
away.
hold on to that game for a day that's going to be a little less
Like the Thursday following.
popular.
Yeah.
Like a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Competing against football, but that's what they decided to go with. But Auston Matthews had an insane night. I mean, and here's the thing though. This is to me what spoke volumes about Auston Matthews though is that after the game, the Senators won the game in overtime on the play, the winning goal, Kyle Turris got around Matthews. Matthews lost his man. Turris wide open, pass right in the net, pass Frederick Anderson. And they talked, and after the game, his first interview, they got an interview with him for Sportsnet in Canada, and literally, in most cases, they're going to ask about the outcome of the game, but because he stole the show in that game regardless, they asked him about that first. But like the response out of his mouth is not even like necessarily, oh, it was a great night and I had so much fun out there. It was literally his first thing. What he said was, it was my fault that goal went in. I lost my man. And I mean, that to me speaks so many volumes about a player when on a night where you score like 4 goals in your debut game, your first thought is just I didn't do my best tonight.
Yeah.
And that's a great
humility.
that's a
Yeah.
but that is a
So-
great thing to have. That is a great personal trait to have when you're looking for guys to play on your team. You want those guys who put the team's performance over their own personal.
Yeah, he'll just have
achievements.
to, play better defense, or he's gonna have to score 5 goals. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, clearly that was the issue, right? It wasn't that none of the other Leafs had a goal that night. It was just because he didn't get 5. And I mean, I've heard stories about players like that. I know from my own team's perspective, Trevor Linden was in a game back in his rookie year. He had a hat trick, and they lost the game. And apparently, as the media was coming in, he was smashing his stick because he was so upset that they lost.
Yeah, I mean, we polarize all of these big personalities in the league that kind of think about themselves first, even though they don't show it too much. But it's nice to see when
Yeah, it's you want.
I feel
those
like
guys.
it's, the league is trending that way. Those guys are becoming more front and center, and there's a lot more of them. You know what I mean? So that's always good for the sport. So
Yeah, I mean, I personally worry. Like I've heard some people talk about this. How nowadays it seems like superstars in the NHL aren't as exciting, and I feel like that's kind of Crosby's not. You wouldn't say Crosby's a really exciting person, really. Most of the time, he's very just grounded, talking about his thing, right?
Mm.
And even then, he's usually relatively a shy person for the most part. Connor McDavid's the same way.
Concussed when he's talking.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help. We'll get into that. Auston Matthews, from what I've seen, is a little bit more talkative, but still pretty reserved. Connor McDavid's like that. Well, a lot of the stars are. There's for the few exceptions, PK Subban is one guy who's out there, who gets out there a lot. There aren't enough guys, I think, in the NHL that are kind of fun to have a conversation with, and you can get so much out of them.
yeah, for sure. Well,
I think we need more PK Subans, really.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's all of these people with just growing up being bred for the sport, and they know nothing other than hockey. So it's just they don't have those other things influencing them. So they're just hockey driven, and that's their whole life. So
It's
less
not so much,
personalities
yeah.
and that come from that. I feel like so. Whatever. I mean, I like a humble person to watch on TV. I'm not into the big giant personalities, with the exception of Alexander Ovechkin.
I mean, even and in those cases, they're not even jerks. They're just they're just more entertaining. I guess
for
they're
sure,
just a little bit more fun to talk to.
I like entertaining.
Ovechkin always has something funny to say.
Yeah, for sure.
And so does PK and guys like him and guys like those two. They're always fun to talk to, and that's why people like them so much.
Yeah.
That's why people threw a big stink when they traded Subban to Nashville, because he was fun.
Yeah.
Because he was a fun player.
Yeah, it's kind of like Brent Burns eating pizza in the locker room.
There you go. Brent Burns is a good example too. He's a pretty good example, and I would say Pavelski as well. Probably is quite fun as well. He's maybe a little bit more quiet, but
Speaking of Pavelski,
definitely Burns.
I don't understand what happened after that first Sharks goal, and he got put in the box.
I didn't see it. I didn't
Yeah,
watch
it's
it because I didn't watch
stuff him in quick or whatever.
Quick. Okay, so Pavelski, there was no whistle. They didn't call it a goal.
No, that was the thing. They called it a goal on the ice.
I thought they didn't.
Yeah, no.
Or,
what they did was they reviewed it to make sure that it went in or whatever, but the whistle blew, and that's why Cliff was angry. I don't know if Pavelski heard it. It was super loud, you know what I mean? But Pavelski was, of course, trying to put it in just in case. All Quick heard was the whistle. Oh, there's a goal. So when he turned around and saw him do it, he went after him. And so
I heard.
But then why did Pavelski get put in the box for putting the puck in the net after the whistle, or?
Yeah, probably they considered it. They didn't. Consider it just either unsportsmanlike conduct or just because there was a scrum and they were just sending one from each side. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
I saw somebody on Twitter asking if because Quick hurt himself later in the game, but somebody was asking if he had just hurt himself during his temper tantrum.
Yeah.
is what the tweet was. I think that was from Andrew Berkshire, who's a Canadian writer for Sportsnet and the French RDS in Canada. But I didn't watch either of the two NBC games. I was focused on the two Canadian games, mainly because number one, Auston Matthews was playing for Toronto, and the second game was Calgary versus Edmonton, and they were opening their brand new, amazing looking Rogers Place. P.S. Oh, holy crap! It's such a nice building.
Yeah, cool.
But the thing that I picked up, I have to say, I was a little bit. I didn't enjoy the games as much as I thought I would, in terms of not because the excitement wasn't. The games weren't awesome. The games were great. The overall entertainment was awesome. But for me, I was looking at the 4 teams. With the exception of Ottawa, 3 of the teams in those 2 games are rebuilding, and they have these young, exciting players. Like in Toronto, they've got not only is Matthews there, they've got
Matt Martin.
Matt Martin. Sure, let's go with him. But
Nylander.
Yeah, William Nylander. Nikita Soshnikov is out there. Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Mitch Marner. So they have these guys, these young guys who are super exciting to watch and fun and make the game interesting. And and then Calgary, they've got Monahan, Gaudreau, Bennett, Kachuk. They've got all these, and Edmonton. I mean, David, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl.
Yeah.
They just traded Yakupov because they don't need any more young guys.
Yeah.
But Jesse Puljujärvi scored his first goal last night as well.
Mm-hmm.
That which kind of got thrown to the side because of what was happening in Ottawa. But I mean, it made me, it kind of like I realized in that moment that looking at Vancouver's roster and for my own team's future, I don't see any guys like that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really grasp that fact until I saw yesterday's game and started seeing guys like Puljujärvi and Matthews and McDavid putting these pucks in the net. Like, because McDavid had 2 last night as well.
Yeah.
That also got thrown under the rug
Yeah.
because of that crazy, insane first
game.
game.
Under the rug
Well, yeah, I
because
watched
the person I played against this week in fantasy hockey had Auston Matthews.
Oh,
and
is
Connor
that
McDavid,
you?
so-
Oh, you got. Oh, I'm so sorry. I saw that and I was like, oh my god.
Is it a short week or is it like a
short week?
I was actually looking at that. And as I was watching the Auston Matthews game, I'm like, oh god, I hope I'm not playing the guy who has Matthews right now. I actually had a really good night. I didn't think I was gonna have that good a turnout yesterday, but I ended up. But anyway, I mean, I just looked at it and I realized that there is nobody in Vancouver's prospect pool that is like that. Like in terms of, there are like in drafts, there are these 3. There are basically 3 kinds of guys you can draft. There's like the dud, which is usually the one that turns out poorly, looks like they're going to be amazing, and then just never really lives up to that hype.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like DiPietro come to mind. Patrick Steffen is considered the worst first overall pick ever, and might even be Nail Yakupov might even be added to that list. We'll see how he does in St. Louis. But and then there's the superstar guys, who are those ones that are, it's obvious how good they are, and they're always, and people buy tickets in opposing cities to see this guy play.
Mm-hmm.
So Crosby, McDavid, those guys.
Yeah.
And then and then there are the anchor guys. And the third option is your anchor guys, who are the players who are good, but they're not like show-offy good. They're not like, it's not instantly noticeable whenever they're on the ice. They're guys who still have a lot of talent, but aren't flashy. They play just a solid game. They're just solid. And looking at Vancouver's group of prospects who we've got, the guys I look at, I only see anchor players. I don't see any of those. I don't see a McDavid or a Matthews or anyone that exciting coming out of the development.
Which is too bad because they've done poorly and gotten high draft picks recently.
Yeah, that's what they, well, it's not. Well, it's just that they haven't been. I don't know if it hasn't that they haven't been available to us or what. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not disappointed with how they've been drafting. Like, Bo Horvat's a great pick. I think he's the closest thing we have to a superstar player, but still, even him, he's not a guy who's projected to score a bunch of points. He's more a guy who's playmaker, just a solid center. But then we have guys like in the last draft, we got 5th overall. We took Olli Juolevi. I wish we'd taken Kachuk. That was who I wanted because I think he is a little bit more of a superstar player than Juolevi. Juolevi's a defenseman, and he's not really, and he's a scoring defenseman. But those aren't the guys usually you pay to that are going to bring in the fans, right?
Sure, yeah.
They're just the really solid players. They're really solid and they're going to be good. No, Brent Burns. Yeah, but the difference is those guys, you notice them. They are definitely flashy on the ice. All
Well, give him some time to get noticed.
No, but the
he doesn't even play in a game.
But
yet.
see, the thing is, Ollie Levy isn't a scorer necessarily. He's a playmaker.
I thought you just said he was a scoring defense.
Well, he can put the puck in the net, but he's more a playmaker. He gets assists, and that's not. He's not Eric Carlson. He's not an Eric Carlson style player. He's more of an Aaron Ekblad, who's still a very good player. But he doesn't score. He's more of a playmaker guy. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing I worry about in Vancouver. If they don't find a guy who's that exciting, who's like that. We haven't had really a guy like that since the Sedins were in their prime, but even more so, I would say, leaning towards Marcus Naslund or Pavel Bure when those guys were in town. We haven't had that guy who just brings you out of your seat when he's on the ice. We don't have those guys anymore. We haven't for a long time, and that's what I worry about. I would really love it if they finished dead last. Honestly, I would be so okay with that if we got. That's the thing. The good fans will understand that you need to finish badly sometimes to get better, and that's how it works. Look at
the Canadians, right? They just all want the Gretzky effect.
It's always darkest before dawn.
Look at Chicago. Look at they drafted they drafted in the top 3 a bunch of times. They landed Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane. They got all of these different guys throughout the draft, but that's more so. And even though, but those guys aren't they aren't flashy players either. They're just the guys who help build it up. But you need those guys who can show up and play superstar role. You need one. You kind of need one of them.
But also, Chicago has 3 lines deep of players like that. You know what I mean?
But that's because of the draft, and that's because they had those. That's because they had that stretch.
Not just because of the draft.
But they did have that stretch of really where they just were not good, and they used that to help propel them into the next place.
That's just the city of Chicago, though.
Penguins are the same thing.
The Penguins spent a lot of money on free agents.
Well, they didn't one before Crosby got to town.
Yeah, well,
they were near bankruptcy. They were near bankruptcy before Crosby
they
was
just
drafted.
went off, pulled the team off of sale yesterday. It was still up for sale up until yesterday.
Well, that was but that was after the Mario Lemieux had bought them and everything.
Right, but I'm just saying, they've still been, they have Crosby, and the team was for sale for the past year.
But that doesn't mean they're bad. That just means the team doesn't want to own them anymore. That just means they want to get out of the game.
Get out while it's good.
Well, yeah, it literally.
Get out while you're making the most.
Buy low, sell high. It's literally buy low, sell high. I'm sure whatever Mario Lemieux paid to become the owner of the Penguins back when he first bought them, I'm sure he's making more than triple that by the time he unloads them someday.
Yeah.
But it's
sports teams are expensive.
They are very expensive, especially nowadays. And when they win a lot of championships, yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. We don't have anyone like that, and I'm okay with them finishing low in the standings if it means we're gonna get a guy like that. If we're gonna get one of those guys who are gonna really bring fans back to the arena every night, and that's the hard part right now.
Yeah, hasn't worked out for Edmonton.
So
don't pray for it.
But now they've got. That's the thing now. To go into
Gretzky
the Oilers.
come out of retirement.
Well, actually, that's one of the things. Yesterday, they announced Gretzky is now a partner and vice chairman for Oilers Sports and Entertainment. So that's
as long as they don't make him coach, they'll be fine.
Yeah, well, actually, that's one of the other things I noticed. It's been a while
Maybe he can be the water boy.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've actually seen Gretzky anywhere near the NHL because of how that Coyotes debacle ended up. Yeah. It wasn't even so much the coaching. I think it's more so there was just clearly some riffs.
That team is a black hole.
Yeah,
for a long time.
But apparently not enough of a black hole that Auston Matthews liked him enough to pick up hockey. So, that's the thing though is it's been so long since we've seen Gretzky in any sort of role with hockey, with the NHL. He's pretty much stayed out of the limelight for the most part the last half decade or so. So it's really nice to see him coming back. But in terms of the Oilers, I look at them now and they're not I remember it was so nice when we'd be able to go to Edmonton. No, okay, we're coming out with 2 points. There's no way we lose this game. And it pretty much was. It pretty much was a guaranteed win whenever you'd walk into Edmonton for a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Canucks losing many.
And that may still be the case this year.
No, but see, you know what? That's the thing.
Maybe not against the Canucks.
Well, no. That's the thing is I don't see them like that anymore. I look at this the team the Oilers have now they still have some fixes I think to make in terms of their forwards getting back on defense and playing defensive role. I think that's their biggest issue right now. But even then, I look at them and I see a good team forming. And
I feel like that's been the case for a couple of years now, but until they win games, I'm not.
Well, I mean, last night they
scored
scored 6 goals. They scored 6 goals.
Yeah,
Calgary. Well,
know.
that's the thing. Calgary's not
Was
as
it
bad as you
7?
would have. Well, the 7th was an empty netter, so I'm not really.
Oh, well, we don't count empty netters.
Well, no, okay, but in terms of like legitimate like setting up plays and everything, they scored 6. They scored 6 serious goals.
Yeah.
And that's not something that a bad team does. Bad
Right.
teams don't have those kinds of nights.
My
where
point
they
is
score
just
that many.
one game, like just one. Game.
It is early. It's early, but I see what's coming with Edmonton, especially with now that Connor McDavid, if he stays healthy. I look at them and I think they're gonna be good.
Right. I'm just skeptical because they said that with Hall, they said that with Nugent Hopkins, they said that they've been saying that for years. It's
They've
just
been saying that for a while.
Until I see it come to fruition legitimately.
I mean, it is one of those things, but I mean, I think in ways it seems to me like there's kind of a new mentality in Edmonton, which hasn't been there. I think two of the reasons that is because they have the new building, and B, McDavid is now captain, and I feel like that's just it. I wrote an article about it, just how having that C on his jersey kind of like gives fans like this visible hope that it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around sometime because they have this guy there's no doubt he's going to be a great player. He's going to be one of the best in the NHL's ever seen.
I thought the C just stood for Connor.
Oh yeah, that too. But it's just
Mighty
There
Ducks.
should
That's
be-
a little Mighty Ducks 3.
CC
Connor.
Captain Connor.
Captain Connor. There we go. Yeah, it's but yeah, I look at the team. I don't see many issues with it anymore. Like defense was a big problem for them for a while, but now they've got Adam Larson under Sekera, and they just signed Chris Russell, which is debatable, but
Always leads the league in shot blocks.
yeah. Oh yeah. His the numbers people will tell you he's not very good in that department.
What,
In terms of Corsi and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like that sort of stuff. But I mean, I don't see a lot of problems with them anymore. It's not like before where there was obvious holes. Now you're starting to see these guys starting to form into a good group, and I think they're going to be a challenger like for the cup in the next like half decade or so.
Okay.
Like
We'll
10,
see.
at least in this decade, I wouldn't be surprised seeing them in like the semifinals or conference finals at some point.
Sure.
I think they're getting there. They're getting better.
Wanna move over to JC.
One last thing. It was nice to see Devin Setaguchi playing.
Oh yeah, that's a great
playing
story.
on the Kings.
That's a great story. He if no one's heard about Devin Setaguchi's story, I recommend you go look it up. It's basically he's been dealing with substance abuse, like alcohol. Like he's been drinking a lot. He was drinking a lot, and he just and he went sober like over the course of the last year or so. His friends, including like other teammates and other hockey players, have been trying to get him back on track, and it's been huge for him. It's good to see him back in the league just for that, just to see him get that redemption and get back to playing the game he loves, because it could have wrecked his career. It really could. I mean, those always can. And so it's good to see him that he was able to get it back together and get out there, get back onto a team, not just in the AHL. He's back full-time roster with the
Playing on
Kings.
the
Well, I think he's got a 2-year contract for a year. But he had over 15 minutes of ice time, I think.
Yeah, but he was, and that was the thing. But the thing was, he was
What's
a
that?
He was playing on the first line with Kopitar.
he was a PTO.
Yeah,
but the other thing is,
but
he
you
was
never know,
a
they're gonna switch things up during the game.
he was a
He hasn't
PTO
played
guy.
since I think in the NHL since 2014.
Yeah, something like that.
So-
but yeah, he's a PTO, so he wasn't necessarily even going to be on the team. It wasn't
Yeah.
even. He
No,
might have
no.
not even gone to the AHL.
Yeah.
He could have they could have just been like, sorry, we're not taking you. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
well,
for sure.
and that's it. But no, he made the Kings. He made the NHL Kings.
Mhm.
And that's great. And that's a testament to how hard he's worked. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should touch on the JC. Right, we should touch on the JC. Bruce, you're our only representative today.
Yep.
Unfortunately
Walk us through
for
this weekend.
Unfortunately for you. Yeah, you guys didn't have a great week, huh? It wasn't a great weekend.
It was not the best weekend.
Okay. That's all you got? Is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah.
No. Walk us through this weekend. Just start
No,
on
you-
Friday. What
you-
happened? Where you guys travel? Well,
okay,
tell us about
alright,
the buildings
so-
you played in, things like that.
Friday we traveled to Santa Barbara, and we played UC Santa Barbara at 10:30 that night. And then we played Long Beach the next day at about 6:30, and then we went back to Santa Barbara on Sunday for a 4:30 game. Lost all three. We should have won the first game. Like
Yeah, it was close. I watched the end of that game.
we started off very slow. We were down like 5-1 at one point, I think. Came back, tied it up 6-6 in the third. Then just penalties killed us.
Yeah, I started watching. I think it was 6-2.
Yeah, penalties killed us all weekend long.
Yeah, it looked like you guys lost quite a few players to like game misconduct.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
which I mean, we lost one player the first game for the whole weekend, which was understandable for that. But then the next against Long Beach, we lost a player for a boarding or a hit in the back. I don't remember exactly what the exact call was, but which was the kid turned into him. Like it wasn't an intentional, and it was just he got tossed for the whole game, which very early on. But
in terms of like with the like the number of game misconducts you guys ended up turning out, even if some of them weren't like necessarily well deserved, do you worry about the discipline? Do you worry about that being is that something that the team needs to work on?
I mean, I think after this weekend, it's kind of it was a reminder of, hey, we have to keep our heads and keep our cool. It's the first weekend.
Everybody was
People
riled up.
are excited,
Yeah.
like.
Well, like going forward, what is it that does need to be worked on? Considering, because I mean, obviously, when you go in 3, there's stuff that you need to go back to the drawing board on, fix, and work with your coaches on that. Like, what needs to be like? What's the big issue at the moment, like holding the team back?
Well, first of all, I mean, just having a full team is vital. We had a few guys who couldn't make the trip, and then if we're losing a guy every game, that
doesn't help.
It does not help. Fatigue becomes an issue eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, myself, I was tired after the first, and I'm the lower line player. I don't get, most of the time I don't get a lot of ice time. This weekend I got more than my share for the whole season, I think.
There you go. So there's some positives did come out of this weekend then. I mean,
Yeah,
I will say in terms of a positive, I looked at the scores, and you guys really, like, in terms of offense, there wasn't really an issue. You guys scored 15 goals in 3 games. That's five a night in just about any other situation. That's a victory.
That's true. That's true. I think one of our big issues were there were a lot of times where we just missed like wide open shots too. Like we could have easily won that first game 15 to 7. Like, just our shots were not going in, missing the net.
It'll take a little time to shake off the rust.
I mean, especially because
in
in college hockey there's no preseason, so you just jump right into the meaningful games. There is no warm up for you. You just go out there and play.
It's always tough.
Yeah.
Tough starting the season on the road.
And but probably like Couple big issues we had were just covering the back door, especially on the power play.
Is that
Or on the penalty
is
kill.
that a communication thing between your defense and your goaltending, or is that something that you just got, or does the players just have to notice?
I mean, well, they gotta know that that's their guy, but at the same time, you know, if there's no communication out on the ice, that's just gonna lead to trouble.
Is the communication working at the moment, or is it quiet? Are at the moment
I think,
you guys
you know,
is that something that
there definitely needs to be more communication. After, you know, at first when we were like kind of quiet out there, we got some goals scored against us. We started to, you know, address the issue and talk more. Also, just like our breakouts, we had a tough time breaking out or just getting the puck out of our zone. You know, trying to make too many moves instead of just getting it out.
Yeah, it's all about. It really is just all about getting the puck to the net. You just gotta, It's not about making the fancy plays most of the time.
Yeah.
It is just getting the garbage goals that win games. You
Mm-hmm.
know? So you guys have the week off this week.
Well, we played the Ice Raiders.
Oh, that's right.
On Saturday.
There is. I mean,
It was that's an exhibition
which
game.
is kind of odd. You know what? Consider this a preseason game. This is a good marker as a preseason
Mhm.
game right here, because there's zero meaning to this game. It's literally just. It's not even like I don't think it's even been like publicized by the team, has it? I don't think I've seen
I have no
anything.
idea.
I don't think I've seen anything relating to it. I think it is just pretty much a regular night at the rink, basically. So this is basically your opportunity as a preseason to like as
To kind of,
it's
you
a
know,
game to work on stuff,
work on some things,
try out some
tighten it up.
combos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then next week you have a home with San Jose State.
Mhm.
That's gonna be huge. It's your official home opener.
Yeah. So
And,
Friday we'll be in San Jose. Saturday night we'll be at Snoopy's.
Oh, is it?
9:15.
Oh, is it? Isn't it the? Oh yeah, it's the. Oh yeah, right. They're on the Saturday. Usually the home games are on the Friday, but they've kind of the season a little bit more juggled this time around.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Start time's very late.
Scheduling.
Yeah,
Start time is
9:15 p.m.
What about the first game in San Jose? When is that start?
That's like 7:30.
Okay, so that's a more reasonable
7.
time. That's a little bit more of a reasonable time out there. But yeah, that's gonna be a big game because they pretty much, I would say they're your main rivals because of how many times you've played them and how
Yeah.
many times you've matched up against them.
Yeah, and last year was the first time we'd ever beat them.
And it was in a shootout too.
So we'll be looking forward to beating them again.
Oh, there's the guarantee from Messier over here. But yeah, so yeah, and that's the remainder of the games for October in terms of right. I think that's the last game of October.
Well, do we have any the weekend after?
Yeah, my bad. I think that's November, but that leads right into November.
No, because
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh yeah,
right before Halloween,
you
games.
might have a game. I just. Oh yeah, you know what? The 28th, I believe, is another home game. I'm not sure against who. Is Santa Barbara was Santa Barbara in Long State? Long Beach? Are they in the league with you guys, like the PCHA? Or are they separate?
that I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I never know who's in our league or who's in our division or what, but
Yeah, that's something you're gonna want to look
we
out for
just
because that's
we just
that's
play
that's
who
crucial this year.
we play.
That's much more crucial this year than it is in previous.
Well, I feel like we don't need to know who's in our division. We just need to go out and win every game. Yeah. Like every game's important.
Yeah.
We don't. Oh, they're not in our division. That doesn't mean we can lose to them. No.
Oh yeah. Of course. I mean, of course we know that. It's just more so like those games are those games mean a little bit extra.
We should play every game like it's our last game, and if we don't win, we're not making the playoffs, or we're losing Game 7 of the Stanley Cup or whatever.
Are you seeing that mentality right now?
I'm gonna see it starting right now.
Oh yeah, there we go. There you go. The Bruce is taking his leadership role.
I mean, honestly, when this weekend, like when we were down like 5-6 goals, like we never gave up. So that was good to see that we kept playing hard even when I wouldn't say we were out of it until until there's just a couple minutes left and we can't score more goals than there is time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't give up. So that's good to see.
Yeah.
We don't think we're out of it until it's over.
Well, that's the important part.
Resiliency.
That's the important part. You shouldn't just back off if the game gets tough, or if you're in front. You gotta always keep playing. Gotta keep going at all times.
Yeah.
Let's quickly drop in on our fantasy since Tommy's the only one who isn't playing.
Sure.
But all three of us are playing. We only have one game day to go off of.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, my team, I will say, had a much better night than I.
This is why we're doing this, because he wants to talk about his team.
Well, no,
Yeah.
okay. You know what I definitely want to address is, I think wasn't our draft in between the last 2 episodes? Was it, or was it? It was the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've already yelled about why I got Jonathan Hubert out for no good reason.
Yeah, well.
For no damn reason.
If you don't understand what you're doing, then
Yeah,
that,
fun
stuff
fact.
happens.
Well, fun fact. I tend to I happen to have both Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Huberdeau, the two biggest names who are hurt at the moment on my team. So
he's
I'm
complaining. He has Stamkos too, and he's still complaining.
But it's not about one player. It's about a team effort. It's
Well,
about giving it 110%,
hey,
having the full.
What did I
roster.
say? I said, you know, when people ask if it's Crosby or Ovechkin, I take Ovechkin because Crosby's gonna get hurt.
I took Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the
See, I'm
chance
not
to
saying
take
you know,
Ovechkin.
I'm
You
not.
had a
Oh,
chance
you know what?
to take
I'm not.
Ovechkin.
I don't regret the decision to take Crosby. I know because when he comes back, he's gonna be good, and that's okay. And
If
that's
he
fine.
comes back.
Until he gets hurt.
He's going to. He's day to day. He's gonna be fine.
Day to day, that could be 365 days.
Yeah, but it's not going to be. He'll be back relatively
He'll
soon.
get hurt in practice.
No, but even if he does, he still plays at a level that it's still worth it. Even if you only get about half a year out of him. Like I had
John
John.
hits is usually good. Block shots.
Wait, because you like rank hits ridiculously high.
No, we don't. We have an added bonus if you have a player that plays all 3 zones. So it's a well-rounded league.
I think that's
the way
why I
think
got.
about it.
Yeah.
I think that's why Shattenkirk had a really good night for me yesterday.
Shattenkirk usually just puts up points. He's not necessarily a big hitter, but he's
Yeah, but
I
I think he had like 2 hits, an assist, and a goal or
Yeah.
something
Oh
like
yeah.
that. So he had a good
that's
night.
going to be a big game
I
no
have-
matter what.
I have
It's all about those games where they don't score. Are they still putting points up on the board?
Yeah. One of my strategies is I try and get as many guys from different teams. Like I try not to have too many. I try not to have like too many players from the same club, from the same team, because just so I can spread it out as much as possible.
Well, there's that. Or you could-
Personally, I'm a team stacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So that when Ovechkin scores, I also get the assist from Backstrom every time.
Oh, there you go. That's
So-
that is good. That is good, but I just like to have.
Didn't work
that-
out for me this year,
I
but-
want them in as many games as I can get. I want my players in as many games as I can get them into. Right? You don't want too many days where you've got too many players.
Yeah, we don't have a limit for players for skaters, but we do have a limit for goalies. That's our only.
Which is so silly.
If you knew how many points goalies were,
Goalies are worth
capable to get.
are worth a bunch because
Yeah, exactly, so
they
that's why you only get 4.
save.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just used to playing in leagues where you get like 2 at a time.
Yeah,
But
those are also leagues where you can end up with like a -20 on the night if your guy has a bad night. You know what I mean?
oh,
So-
okay, that's bad. Yeah, I had a couple guys where it looked like they're finishing in the negatives, but in the end, I think they all did okay.
Exactly.
Kyle Turris had a nice night for me. He had 2 goals.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, yeah, I didn't know. Actually, fun fact, I didn't even remember I had drafted Kyle Turris.
Mhm.
And then I looked on my resume, I'm like, oh, hey, there he is.
Nice.
Realized I had points there. But I think I had like the second most points of the night, which is much better than I assumed. I was going to do. Because I think most of my guys were defensemen yesterday, so I didn't expect many points.
Did you have a lot of players on opening night, or?
I'm trying to think. I think I can list all the players I had, like, because there only were like maybe 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
There was in the Ottawa Toronto. I had Morgan Riley from the Leafs,
Mhm.
and I had Mark Stone and why I just said his name. I forget it.
Kyle Turris.
Kyle Turris. Thank you. I had both of them. I had Jordan Eberle for the Oilers. He actually didn't do too well, but then I think he got the empty netter, so that helped him.
Okay.
So that helped me out a little bit. Shattenkirk had a monster night, and I think that was it. I think that was all my players. So not a whole bunch. I think I have some goalies in. I think I have. Actually, both my goalies are in tonight, but I can only pick one, so I went with Luongo because Columbus I don't think is going to beat Boston. I think Florida has a much better chance of beating New Jersey.
Yeah, I went with Holtby over Schneider.
And that's a good.
Got the home ice. No Crosby.
Wait, over Schneider? Are they playing the Devils?
No.
Oh, right.
Schneider's
Okay, yeah, sorry.
playing,
Schneider's playing Florida. Oh, it's Luongo versus Schneider all over again. Ooh, okay. Actually, but yeah, I love. Oh yeah.
You should just play Schneider.
Oh yeah, you
so
should.
that you can
make it that
brag
head-to-head.
once Schneider stops everything. Luongo lets in 10 goals.
Well, I can still brag about that.
Luongo is-
Oh, my bench guy.
Actually, I don't even. You know what? I
should.
should. You know what? I'm gonna. While we're on the. Before they lock out the positions here, I better check and make sure that I have.
You got 6 minutes.
Because now that because what I remember, is Luongo's been hurt for a little bit, so I don't know if he is playing tonight. I have to make sure that he is totally good to go tonight. Oh, a little fun tidbit though about the Toronto game yesterday. Luongo tweeted out that he is making sure Reimer plays every single game against the Leafs this year because he does not want to play against Auston Matthews. Yeah, because it is July 1st. Okay, is he playing tonight? That is what I need to know if he's playing. That is bad.
Left wing lock.
I hope he's playing because if not, I'm gonna have no points in goal, and that's gonna be remarkably sad. I think I'm pretty darn sure Bobrovsky's gonna play Boston or whatever tonight. So I don't think he's hurt. Last I checked. NHL updated their website. What do you guys think of that?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? It's
Sorry.
NHL updated all of the technically they're all NHL.com sites now. They've made it kind of they made it kind of needlessly confusing by it's all run by the MLB now. Like MLB Advanced Media is in charge of the NHL stuff now. They signed a deal. Well, because their media, they're like the people who run their online stuff is like actually like they have one of like the best media companies in the world. It's actually in fact it's a completely separate business from the baseball, from the baseball like league itself. I believe they run the websites for ESPN, the WWE. I think they run a bunch of other sports sites. And they started doing the NHL last year. They run the NHL TV and everything, which is why I changed the name from Game Center, because MLB TV and everything. But yeah, that is, and so now the way they've done it is no longer you don't go to like, say you're going to like sharks.com, you don't go to sjsharks.com anymore. Now it is like when you type in that address, it sends you to nhl.com/sharks, which is I mean, I get the uniformity, but I have to say I kind of find the
It used to just be sharks.nhl.com.
Yeah, see, then that was fine. And those
it doesn't really matter either way. It's
But it's just more so this idea. It's more so the idea of now because they all kind of have to have the exact same website, and Google
it. I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah, and for the NHL, since the NHL moved over to the MLB run, and I have to say it hasn't been as good. Like it's not as good as the old site was.
Well, yeah, I mean, as soon as that they made that big change, it kind of stopped going to the website altogether because it was big and confusing and weird looking.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Whereas,
exactly, and now
MLB.com is actually like a website that I enjoy going to.
Yeah,
because the layout is like well done. You know what I mean? So
exactly, but now all the team websites are exactly like that. In fact, now even still like just to make it even more weird, if you download like how like each team has their own app and everything.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't even when you download that, it's not even actually downloading an app anymore. Now it's just redirecting you to the NHL app to that page.
Oh.
So it's not even worth downloading.
They're
So
trying to streamline it kind of, but it's just not really.
I get it, but I mean, I like the idea of each team kind of doing their own thing. I don't think they should all have to run the exact same program for their site,
Yeah, whatever. Makes it easier, I guess, probably.
I mean, yeah, it just looks.
It's not enough for me to care about, really.
I mean, sure. It's just it makes it more confusing because I did not like. Good job. I did not like. 'Cause I mean, when they changed over, I didn't like it,
Yeah.
and I assumed they were just gonna hold on to the websites, keep them as is, and like each team would move them around as they pleased. But in the end, they just decided, nope, everybody's getting this website. Everybody's getting a revamped website. They didn't even announce it. There wasn't even like a thing. I didn't even notice until one day I went to Canucks.com and I'm like, oh, this is not the same site as yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how I figured it out. So this weekend is the first full weekend of games. I think there's actually nearly every team plays on Saturday. I think Edmonton.
Like a Super Saturday.
Yeah, I think Edmonton and Buffalo are the only two teams not playing because the Oilers have like a really hectic schedule ahead of them.
Yeah.
And so do the Sabres or something. But pretty much everyone's in action. It's going to be a good season. Okay.
We'll have a lot more to talk about next week.
Yep. Okay. Let's.
Well, actually, we're going from
two. We are going to be changing the format of the podcast because some people, Bruce, feel it takes too much of their time of their busy, hectic schedule up. But we're going to be moving it to once every 2 weeks now, just to make things a little bit easier for him, and I think Tommy will be included in that group as well. Final thoughts here. Who's your prediction for the Stanley Cup Finals here? Stanley Cup Finals and a champion. Be realistic here.
Sharks, Flyers, Sharks. Winning.
You know what? I will say Sharks is a fair one. Sorry.
Well, nobody was going to say Canucks, so I'm not going to.
Well, yeah, I'm not even gonna. Well, I wouldn't even. I would. The pipe dream is the Canucks will make it to the finals and win. But if I'm gonna go off of my best analysis and guess, I'm thinking, in the West, I got the Sharks are probably the best team in the West right now, especially because we didn't even touch on this. They have Mikhail Bodker now. He's a good player. They're going for it this year. They're very clearly going for it this year.
They didn't go for it last year.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say the Sharks went into last year thinking, oh, we're going to the Stanley Cup Finals for sure this year. I mean, it was pretty much just the same
That's
team.
how you should go into every
Yeah,
It
if
was
you don't
pretty
have
much-
that mentality, you're never
It
going to make it.
was nearly an identical.
part,
It was nearly an identical team to what they sent out the season before when they missed the playoffs. It was
No,
pretty. The
they
only
got a
difference
new
I think was
coach.
was Martin Jones.
Yeah, goalie and a coach.
Goalie and a coach.
Those are pretty big things.
Yeah.
Goalie and the coach are big. Yes, I will say goalie is especially big.
We talked him into it.
Yeah. I would say the Sharks were probably one of the toughest to beat this year. You got to always include Chicago.
St. Louis.
But I would say St. Louis lost David Backes, and I feel like that's like a little bit bigger
Nah,
than
he
people.
was on the decline for
He-
St. Louis.
I
He's gonna revitalize in Boston though.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay finally signed Nikita Kucherov. I mean,
That's
I
good for
don't
them.
think there's anyone. I don't think there's really not. I don't think even the Penguins will be able to beat Tampa Bay this year. I
Yeah.
think Tampa Bay is just. It's amazing how they've kept all those players together.
Yeah, if I'm picking somebody from the West, it's probably somebody from the Central, like the Blues or
Nashville.
Nashville, yeah.
No,
even
Nashville.
Dallas, even
Forgot
Dallas,
about
maybe.
Nashville.
Even Dallas, maybe. You know.
No,
Yeah.
I think Dallas.
If they can
Stars-
solve
yeah,
their
yeah, that's
goaltending
what I was gonna
situation,
say. Yeah, if
then-
they can
yeah.
find some better goaltending, then maybe. But I think until that point, they're pretty much stuck. And they lost Valerie Nichushkin to the KHL. That's a pretty huge blow for them as well.
They'll figure it out.
They will. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about Nashville. I'm gonna go with Nashville. Actually, I'm gonna go Nashville.
Flip-flopping over here, dude.
Well, no, because I forgot. I totally forgot about them for a second.
For a guy.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Nashville, Tampa Bay, and I would say, due to experience, Tampa Bay would probably win the cup that year. Will probably win the cup. And I think that just pretty much wraps it up for today. We will be back in 2 weeks. By then, we will be setting up the first home game of the year, I believe. Or no, right? No, it'll be past that. It'll be the week after.
We'll have a rundown of the first game.
We'll have a rundown. That is a better call. That is what we're going to be doing. So yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching. This has been 4 Dudes 1 Cup, the SRJC
Three
Polar Bears
dudes, 2
podcast.
cup for today.
For today, yeah.
Except I have to do one of the cups away. So.
Way to go. 4 Dudes 1 Cup, SRJC Polar Bear podcast powered by the Oak Leaf SRJC student newspaper. We're out.